What's up, gang? It's your boy Mr. Bro Standard here again. It has been such a long time. Glad to be back on here again. Yeah, I know it's been a while since I posted a video. One is, I have some responsibilities that came up, with the birth of my son. So been a crazy couple months. And then also too, the card market has definitely went down a lot. So there's not a lot of card content for me to be putting out there. Kind of slowed down on that, but so I think that's a good way for me to say this, that going on from here on is pretty much this channel is going to be mostly about sports, right? So I've been wanting to just do a channel that's mostly about sports in general, just hot topics that are out there. And maybe I'll bring up some cards too. Definitely want to get into fantasy football. Probably put a video out of that soon. And I've had a lot of these ideas coming to my head, been wanting to come back on here, but finally now's the time. Just so much I want to rant, so much I want to get off my shoulders. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and that like button. I know I am flashing the Arizona Cardinals, and I'm going to be getting to the Arizona Cardinals in a minute. But I'm going to be talking about a lot more than just the Arizona Cardinals. So, hey, stick around. Arizona Cardinals are actually 6-0, but let's just count that 7th win already. Arizona Cardinals versus the Houston Texans this weekend. DeAndre Hopkins, J.J. Watt, revenge game. I'm saying if that spread for that game is anywhere around 17 points, you take the Cardinals, bet the house. The Cardinals are going to win by at least 17, in my opinion. They're going to put up, 35, 40-plus points? 40-plus points, right? And you really think that offense is going to score a lot against the Cardinals? I don't think so. So, like I said, bet the line, bro. Bet that money line. Take the spread. Fucking 17 points, whatevers. But the biggest reason, so, it's Monday night. I just got finished watching the number one team in the NFL lose. Yeah, they're 4-1. The Buffalo Bills are 4-1, and ESPN had them as the number one team in the NFL, right? Number one team, right? This is why I wanted to get on here. Is I watch all these videos. Rich Eisen is probably the only guy who gives the Cardinals the props that they deserve. But you go and you listen to, I forget whose show it was. Might have been Dan Patrick's. Mina Kiam calls in, says the Cardinals aren't for real.
Let me tell you why I have Cardinal skepticism, even though I think Kyler Murray's playing out of it. He's in God mode. I was really hoping yesterday we would get to see this defense tested against a violent running game, because I believe that is the primary weakness of this team. Unfortunately, Cleveland rolls in with backup tackles and no Nick Chubb, so that hypothesis is not tested, and really you can kind of throw out the defensive port.
All these guys, Stephen A. Smith, everybody just keeps saying the Cardinals aren't for real, and it just pisses me off, okay? They're the best team in the NFL. The Cardinals are the best team in the NFL, and I just seen the Buffalo Bills lose. That's the number one team, right? ESPN had them ranked number one last week over the Cardinals. Cardinals undefeated. Bills, one loss, still ranked ahead of the Cardinals, because nobody wants to respect the Cardinals. They don't want the Cardinals to be number one. They wanted their boy Josh Allen to be number one, and I know for sure that every single person in that building at ESPN NFL would jizz themselves if the Dallas Cowboys were the number one team. They want to put Dallas so bad in front. Think about it. They're putting Dallas above Tampa Bay when Tampa Bay beat Dallas. Yes, I know Tampa Bay has 2 losses on their record. Oh, wait. Tampa only lost one time, and they still had them ranked, right? Tampa only lost one time, right? Can you look that up for me? Tampa Bay Buccaneers record. I swear the Dallas Cowboys were ranked number 3 in that rankings. They've only lost one game. One game. Can you look at my post that I sent you? See what the rankings were? My wife is checking a bunch of stuff for me right now. What was the rankings? I know they have Buffalo Bills 1. 4-1 team at the time. Now 4-2. Okay, 4-2, and they just lost to the Tennessee Titans, who were blown out by the Arizona Cardinals. Blown out. That's your number one team. They couldn't beat the... Oh, no, Tennessee, that was a fluke their first game. They weren't the same team. Same way Buffalo, that was a fluke their first game. It wasn't the same team. Seemed like everybody get excuses for every team. Who's ranked number 3? So Buffalo 1. Oh, so they did have Rams number 3. Okay, that they deserve to be number 3. Who's number 4? Tampa is number 4. And number 5 is Dallas, isn't it?
No,
Green Bay number 5. Okay, how far is Dallas? Dallas is 6. Oh, okay. I got it wrong. First take, we're saying what was the best 3 teams in the NFC. Boys, the Dallas Cowboys haven't done anything this year, guys. Nothing. Okay, they lost to the only team that was somebody. And it was a good game, but they lost. They lost. Okay, that was the first game. If I'm not mistaken, the Dallas Cowboys haven't played a team with a winning record since. Can you do me a favor and look up Dallas's schedule? I want to know who they played. I want to know if the Dallas Cowboys have beat anybody good. I know they just beat the New England Patriots, but let's be real. The Houston Texans almost beat the New England Patriots, guys. Okay, the New England Patriots ain't all that in a bag of chips. They don't have their best defensive players. Their offense is right? Let's be honest. That's not a huge win, but while we wait for that, because I'm a Dallas hater, so I love to go up against Dallas. But yeah, okay, I want to hear who the Dallas Cowboys have played, because Stephen A. Smith, they don't know what they're talking about. Like I said, they're just so in love with Dallas. It makes no sense. No, who they play? So Patriots was this past game. Who was before that? Giants, let's be real. Panthers, let's be real. Eagles, come on. And Chargers. And how much did they? What was the score for the Chargers game? 2017, and they won that? Yeah. Okay. That's a quality win. I'm going to give the Dallas Cowboys that. That's a quality win. That's a quality win against a team that just got blown out by the Ravens. So maybe that isn't a quality win, but I like the Chargers, so I think it's a quality win. It ain't the best win. They just lost by 30 points against a team that's a real deal. But, yeah. So the Dallas Cowboys, let's keep a little hush-hush over there on first take, okay? They're not all that in a bag of chips. They're definitely not the third best team or second best team, which Michael Irvin put them above the Arizona Cardinals, which was absolutely disgusting.
But boy, them Cowboys right there too. See, you the Bucks. I have the Bucks up here because of Tomlin's pedigree. But the Cowboys? Oh my God! I just talked about why I have the Cowboys here as the most balanced team out there in National Football League, offense and defense. I got the Cowboys too. I like what I'm seeing out of the Cardinals. I like what I'm seeing. I got them in the third, right behind the Bucks and the Cowboys.
You shouldn't be on sports talk after you do some stupid thing like that. I get it. You're a homer, but you're supposed to be in the media. You're supposed to be taken seriously, and you want to put the Dallas Cowboys above the Arizona Cardinals in the rankings. You don't deserve to be where you're at right now. Okay, let's be honest. After this week, this is how the rankings should look like. Arizona Cardinals, number one and undisputed, okay? Let's stop making excuses. Mila Kimes went on there and said, I know they have that win against the Rams, but let's be honest, the Rams weren't on. And then they want to say, well, you know what? The Bills played the better Tennessee Titans because that first week that Tennessee played Arizona, they just weren't on. And then they're going to say, well, you know what? Cleveland were missing a lot of offensive players. They were missing their best player, Nick Chubb. Guys, Arizona went into Cleveland with no coaching staff. They had the assistant wide receiver coach, a guy who hasn't called plays in his entire life. The guy's only 32 years old. He's only 32 years old. He called the plays. And the Cardinals were missing their best offensive player and defensive player. That's right. They were missing their best offensive player.
What are you talking about, Mr. Royal Standard? They had Kyler Murray. They had DeAndre Hopkins. They had AJ Green. Hey, maybe Zachary isn't on the team just yet, but they're going to have him next week. Who's their best offensive player?
Rodney Hudson, y'all. Okay? He's the captain, the center of the offense. 3 mishandled snaps this past game. And if I'm not mistaken, I know at least 2, but all 3 might have led to field goals on touchdown drives. Okay, the first one, Kyler he was checking a play, was probably going to be going to DeAndre Hopkins because there was a one-on-one man coverage on the outside. Best offensive player, offensive coach, and the best defensive player on the team all out. Not to mention Corey Peters, who is the best interior defensive lineman, was out due to COVID as well. And they still came away with a win. And it wasn't no fluky win, just a field goal. The way everybody wants to bring up the Minnesota Vikings game, who Patrick Peterson is on the Minnesota Vikings. That was a revenge game for him. You know, he knows a lot of the offense, right? You can kind of get in their head. Hey, you know, they do this on defense. You like to do this on defense. Let's exploit this. Let's exploit that. They're the inside guy. I could see how that game would have been close. Hey, yeah, you know what? The Cardinals, maybe they were supposed to have won that game, but guess what? They didn't. They didn't. You know why? Because the Cardinals have Matt Prater, and the other team has a guy who misses field goals. Is that our fault? Is that the Cardinals' fault? No. Now stop making excuses to not put the Arizona Cardinals at number 1. They are the number 1 team in the NFL. They whooped that Rams ass. And let me say, the Rams are still the number 2 team in the NFL. Yes, you put Cardinals 1, and yes, you put the Rams in at number 2. Because while the Cardinals came in and beat the Rams, they might both go undefeated until they meet each other again on Monday Night Football. I believe it's a month from now, okay? They might be undefeated again because the Cardinals are going up against the Houston Texans, and then they're going up against the Green Bay Packers. The Green Bay Packers, that's going to be a tough game. You know, it's Aaron Rodgers. It's Aaron Rodgers, okay? When there's Aaron Rodgers or Tom Brady, those two guys are the only two guys in the NFL that could single-handedly beat every single team in the NFL on any given Sunday. You can put those two teams, Green Bay Packers and Tampa Bay, up against any team in the NFL, including the Cardinals, including the Rams, and could beat them any given Sunday. Just because of them, their greatness. They're the only two left of that greatness era of Drew Brees and back when Ben Roethlisberger was good. Those two guys are great, okay? And I would put them 3 and 4. Tampa Bay 3, Green Bay Packers 4. That would be the top 4 for me. If you want to go number 5, at number 5, maybe you can put the Bills, because I sure as hell ain't putting, you know what, screw the Bills, screw the Dallas Cowboys. Number 5 needs to be the Baltimore Ravens, because the Baltimore Ravens are hot right now. They could be the one coming out of the AFC in the Super Bowl. They're just blazing hot. They got a solid defense. You know what I mean? They got great corners, Marlon Humphreys. Then you got Patrick Queen up there in the middle. Calais Campbell on the D-line. That D-line is no joke. That offensive running game, they got 3 former Pro Bowlers in the backfield. Yeah, they're old and washed up. Same thing they said about J.J. Watt. Same thing they said about A.J. Green, okay? You take these 3 Pro Bowlers that are a little bit older, which means that nutritional-wise and body-wise can't get beat up as much. Well, you just rotate them. And it's been working perfectly with Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson is their leading rusher down there in Baltimore. Those guys got to be number 5. So let's recap that. Cardinals, number 1. Already told you why. Rams, number 2. Dynamic defense. Have 2 of the best defensive players to ever play the game on the defensive side. They got to be number 2. Number 3 has to be, who did I say was number 3? Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay, 4. Green Bay, 5. Baltimore Ravens. So, yeah, can we just put some respect on my Cardinals, man? That's all I ask. It's just so annoying when they don't want to recognize the Arizona Cardinals as the number 1 team. There's just excuses everywhere. And now after the Bills have fallen, their number 1 defense, right? The best defense in the NFL, they shut out all those teams. Yeah, they shut out teams that are shit. Okay? And the one team that actually had a decent defense against them was the Pittsburgh Steelers. And that's the game that the Bills lost. All right, guys. So the Bills are still strong. To be honest with you, I believe the AFC Championship game is either going to include 1, the Bills, or 2, the Ravens. It's going to be one of those 2 teams in there fighting to get into the Super Bowl. The other one, it just depends. You know what I mean? I could see the Las Vegas Raiders being in there. Could see the Kansas City Chiefs clicking again and getting in there. For the NFC side, it's a lot more solid for me. It's Arizona or the Rams are going to be the number 1 seed. It's going to be one of those 2 guys. It's just a dogfight in our own division, really, for the number 1 seed. And then you can see guys like Tom Brady and Aaron Rodgers being in that NFC Championship game as well. So I believe it's out of those 4 teams. They're just fighting. Those are the 4 teams that are in the best in the NFL, in my opinion. I don't see a team from the AFC side beating one of those 4 teams in the Super Bowl. So, I mean, Ravens, Buffalo, they're great, but I just can't see them beating the greatness of Tom Brady, beating the greatness of Aaron Rodgers in the Super Bowl, and I can't see them getting past the defense of the Rams and the defense of the Cardinals inside the Super Bowl behind those, highly powered offenses. on both of those teams. So it's an NFC year. Let's just put some respect on the damn Cardinals, please. Oh my God. So that's it for the video today. Like, subscribe, do your boy that favor, especially if you're an Arizona Cardinals fan. Let me get a hashtag Red Sea in the comments. I had to do this. It seems like they're reporting out there, man. So biased. They just look at me as the truth. I'm the truth teller. Yeah. So until next time, Mr. Roy Standard.